Today's discussion pharmaceutics, novel drug delivery systems, in which the very important topic ocular drug delivery system, in which the following headings to be discussed today: introduction, anatomy of the eye, mechanism of drug absorption, barriers to drug permeation to the ophthalmic, methods to overcome barriers to the ophthalmic. Let's see introduction. What is ophthalmic drug delivery system? How it is important? So what are the challenges the scientists are facing? These things will be discussed in the introduction part. Ophthalmic means eye. Eye is the most important organ in human body. So the maintaining health of the eye is very important. If whatever maintaining, when age related issues, the disease might come. So in this connection, today we are going to discuss the introduction of the ophthalmic drug delivery system. What are the challenges scientists are facing? Ophthalmic drug delivery is one of the most interesting and challenging field facing the pharmaceutical scientist, because the eye is the most sensitive organ in human body, highly sensitive organ. The anatomy, physiology and biochemistry of the eye render this organ exquisitely impervious to foreign substances. Eye never allow any foreign matters, always try to send out by the way of irritation or by way of the secretions or by way of the blinking. The challenges to face the formulator is how to deliver the drugs to the ophthalmic and different layers of the ophthalmic region. The challenge to the formulator is to circumvent the protective barriers. Eye having the various barriers that will be discussed in the upcoming slides, without causing the permanent tissue damage. The eye, the tissue is highly delicate, highly sensitive. Even small particle in the diameter range of nanometer fall onto the eye start to some type of sensation. So this situation, how we can deliver the drugs to the different barriers without damaging the tissues of the particular tissue part, there is a challenges. The drug delivery scientist try to circumvent the protective barriers of the eye without causing the permanent damage to the tissues. This is the ultimate important goal of the drug delivery to the ophthalmic system. Now come to the how the challenges and ultimately the bioavailability, how it will be significantly affect the availability of the drugs to the ophthalmic zone. The bioavailability of the ophthalmic drugs is very poor due to the inefficient protective mechanism of the eye. So number of reasons, because the drug not effectively acting because the low amount or very poor amount of the drug reaching to the particular zone, because efficient protective mechanism of the eye. The point number one, blinking and reflex lacrimation drainage rapidly removes the drugs from the surface of the eye. I told that earlier, if any dust fall onto the eye, what happened? Immediately our eye try to blink, ultimately try to secrete, that is called as lacrimal secretions. So what happened? The secretions and blinking leads to the removal of the drugs from the surface of the eye. To overcome these two approaches can be followed. The first involves the using alternate delivery routes to the conventional one. The first approach is to find the alternate drug delivery routes to the conventional ones, allowing more direct access to the intended target sites of the eye. And the second approach involves the development of novel drug delivery systems providing a better permeability, treatability and controlled release at a target site. The second approach is most important, that is relevant to the today's topic, that is called as ocular drug delivery novel system. Now it is not possible only the one approach we can use it, we can combine the two approaches. There is a combination of both these approaches are being utilized and optimized in order to achieve optimal therapy with minimal adverse effects. See the very beautiful eye, the picture you are seeing is the human eye. You are visualizing this picture by your eye. See, this is the very beautiful picture. The different parts of the eye is starting from the clockwise direction from the top. The first is sclera, second choroid, then retina, macula, optic nerve, vitreous body, then anterior chamber filled with aqueous humor. Then inside the figure is lens, cornea, pupil, iris, ciliary body and muscle. These are the different parts, or you can say the component of the eye for the better functioning of the human body visual apparatus. The mechanism of drug absorption in the ocular system. Ocular means eye. Typically applied drugs, topically applied drugs can be absorbed from two routes, corneal absorption routes and the second one is non-corneal absorption routes. The outermost layer, the epithelium, is the rate limiting barrier. In the corneum, the outermost layer, the epithelium is the rate limiting barrier. Transcellular transport is the major mechanism of ocular absorption for lipophilic drugs. Drugs are classified basically based on the solubility of the drugs, that is lipophilic drugs, that means they easily get dissolved in the lipid material solvent. Hydrophilic means easily get dissolved in the aqueous solvent. So the first point, corneal absorption, the transcellular transport is the major mechanism of drug absorption in the ocular system for the lipophilic drugs. Small ionic and hydrophilic molecules also appear to gain access to the anterior chamber through paracellular pathway. And the second mechanism of absorption is non-corneal absorption. It involves the penetration across the sclera and conjunctiva into the intraocular tissues. This mechanism of absorption is usually non-productive, that is not up to the significant level, as drug penetrating is taken up by the local capillary beds. Now another heading in the challenges aspect, the barriers to ocular drug delivery. What are the barriers? How the drugs are difficult to enter the ophthalmic region inside the ophthalmic different parts. What are the barriers is called as barriers to ocular drug delivery systems. Delivery of drug to the oculars, to the targeted ocular tissues and maintenance of required therapeutic drug concentration is very difficult due to the presence of various precorneal, dynamic and static barriers. The delivering the drugs to the particular parts of the ophthalmic zone is difficult because the various reasons, precorneal absorption, dynamic and static barriers play a major role to prevent the entry of drug to the particular place where actually the drug required to for the treatment of the disease or maintaining the good health of the eye. As a result, ocular bioavailability is usually only 1 to 7% of the applied dose. These are the reason how the scientists are facing challenges because of the barriers, the drug not able to cross the different layers of the barriers to the fullest therapeutic value of the drug in the ophthalmic zone. So this figure clearly indicates that the bioavailability is up to 1 to 7%. These barriers can also be classified as very detailed anatomical barriers, physiological barriers. Now come on to the anatomical aspect of the barriers. Cornea. The cornea is mainly composed of 5 sections: epithelium, Bowman's membrane, stroma, descendant membrane and endothelium. Epithelium acts as a principal barrier. Stroma consists of multiple layers of hexagonally arranged collagen fibers containing of aqueous pores or channels. It allows hydrophilic drugs to easily pass through it but act as significant barrier for lipophilic drugs. That means the cornea allow the hydrophilic drug easily to pass through it, but vice versa not possible for the case of lipophilic drugs. Sclera and conjunctiva, next barriers we are discussing in the anatomical aspect is, now conjunctiva is more permeable than cornea, especially for hydrophilic drugs molecules. High vascularity renders this route not suitable for drug delivery as the blood vessels remove a large fraction of absorbed drug. The second, because of the high vascularity in the conjunctiva, this route not suitable for the drug delivery as the most of the drugs are removed through blood vessels from the from the ophthalmic cavity. Only a small fraction of the dose reaches the vitreous body. Then blood ocular barriers. These have two parts, blood aqueous humor barrier and retina barrier. The anterior blood ocular barrier is composed of endothelial cells. This barrier limits the access of hydrophilic drugs. Inflammation may disrupt the integrity of this barrier. The posterior barrier between blood stream and eye is comprised of retinal pigment epithelium, and the right tight walls of the retinal capillaries. Physiological barriers. Now, after anatomical barrier, we are discussing the physiological barriers. So, this is also very difficult for the particularly delivering the drugs to the ophthalmic zone. The first point is a nasolacrimal drainage of drug solution. The drug what trying to deliver through a solution formulation or whatever, they always get drained out through the nasolacrimal secretions, and generally it reflects effect of the blinking, leads to the loss of drugs, that is leads to poor bioavailability, increased lacrimation and tear turnover. There is some people having a watery eye, that leads to the lacrimation turnover more, tear dilution, frequent watery secretion from the eye, ophthalmic cavity leads to the dilution of the drug, and metabolism of the drug because of the physicochemical properties of the drug molecules, and non-productive absorption. So, these are the barriers of the physiological models. See the schematic representation how the drug not get absorbed, or how the drug get poorly bioavailable the site of action where the actual drugs to be act. So, typically applied ocular dosage form, they will reach the medicament through possibility of three mechanisms of drug release: diffusion, dissolution, erosion. Then after that the drug come into the tear film form. Sometime the drug itself, because of irritation, the drug when you are putting something whatever into the eye chamber, always leads to produce some irritation generally. So, that leads to irritation. What happen? Induced lacrimation. The time the drug will be eliminated and drain out to and loss of the drug. Otherwise, lacrimal turnover, metabolism of the drug, non-productive absorption, this leads to the loss of the drug. Suppose after escaping from this, if that then real absorption through corneal and conjunctival route, the drug goes into the aqueous humor and internal ocular structures, then finally get elimination, right, through the systemic routes. Now, come to the anatomical aspect, physiological aspect of the barriers, how the challenges the scientists are facing. Now, come to the drug related factors, how that will be affecting the bioavailability of the drug. Factors affecting intraocular bioavailability: inflow and outflow of lacrimal fluids. That means lacrimal secretions, how coming inside the eye and coming outside to the eye. That is called inflow and outflow of the lacrimal secretions fluids. efficient nasolacrimal drainage, interaction of drug with the proteins of lacrimal fluids. The drug, generally, the lacrimal fluids contain number of minerals and proteins. Generally, how the interacting in the drug with the proteins that leads to the in bioavailability or poor bioavailability. Corneal barriers, the dosage form dilution with the tears, physiochemical properties of the drug molecules. So these are the factors affect the intraocular bioavailability, that means leads to the very poor bioavailability. Once you understand the different barriers, the factors affecting the bioavailability of the ophthalmic system delivery, then we can circumvent the way to innovate the new challenge, to finding out the research to deliver such a formulations that is comes in the novel drug delivery systems. Physicochemical properties of drug, we can come to the possibility of the drug natural properties, that is called as physicochemical property of the drugs. The rate of drug absorption from the administered dose at the site depends upon the physical properties of the drug molecule. It is very obvious that the solubility is the main factor of any drug candidate. The better the solubility, the greater the bioavailability. Usually, unionized molecules can readily permeate biological membrane. Usually, unionized molecules, the drug molecules, can readily permeate biological membrane. In case of ionized species, another question has come, their charge can also affect the permeability across the cornea. In case of ionized species, unionized molecules can readily permeate biological membrane. By chance, the drugs are get ionized. Their charge can also affect the permeability of drugs across the cornea. The corneal epithelium barriers a negative charge. The corneal epithelium barriers a negative charge at the pH of lacrimal fluid, and hence cationic species tend to penetrate at a faster rate to their anionic counterpart. Lipophilicity. So we discussed in the different parts of the eye, some drugs, lipophilic drugs are get easily absorbed. Now the point is lipophilicity of drug. Different layers of cornea show different permeability towards lipophilic drugs. Lipophilic drugs tend to permeate easily through the epithelial layers of cornea, but the hydrophilicity of the inner layer of cornea, stroma, require higher hydrophilicity for optimal permeation. Molecular weight and size of the drug candidate also play a major role for the delivery of the drugs to the ophthalmic by ocular drug delivery system under the category of novel drug delivery systems. The molecules having a diameter less than 2 nanometer is easily permitted, but it is very difficult to prepare such a particle size in that range of 2 nanometer. Molecular weight should be less than 500 Dalton to permeate readily through cornea. The conjunctiva has larger paracellular pore diameter. The conjunctiva has a larger paracellular pore diameter, thus allowing permeation of larger molecules. Sclera permeability is approximately half of conjunctiva but much higher than cornea. Methods to overcome barriers, as discussed in the introduction part. What are the methods to overcome barriers and successfully deliver the drugs to the ophthalmic cavity? That is the topic. To overcome barriers in ocular drug delivery, two distinct yet complementary approaches can be used. It is not only possible we can put only the changing the route of delivery or changing only the formulation aspect. The complement of both ideas, that means the route approach and also the formulation approach, that is called as distinct yet complementary approaches can be used. The first involves using alternate delivery route. to conventional ones, allowing for more direct access to the intended target sites. The second approach involves the development of novel drug delivery systems providing better permeability, treatability, and controlled release at a target site. The second approach is the subject of interest of the talk. So here I want to something I want to say. The second approach, nowadays available number of product in the novel drug delivery systems, ocular insert and injections, ocular injections, market available because I have a number of disease, cataract, myiasis, mydriasis, glaucoma, surgeries. This aspect nowadays most important for the scientist to deliver the drugs particularly for eye. The conventional approach, easiest approach, but patient convenience and compliance, bioavailability and stability of the dosage form. Considering this, novel drug delivery system is the recent trend in the ophthalmic drug delivery. With this, I want to conclude today's discussion, this introduction portion. The part of this lecture take 3-4 lecture. Today what I discussed is introduction. Next class we can discuss the detail about the further formulation aspect, product aspect. So thank you.